If you look back at the history of Greenpeace, we've always used communications technology to expose environmental crimes to the world. We've used these communications tools to allow people all over the world to bear witness along with us to environmental destruction from high up in the Arctic, the Antarctic, the middle of the Amazon, all over the world. We can bring people to these places through amazing photos and amazing video footage. Virtual reality allows us to create a whole new way of communicating the beauty of somewhere like the Amazon rainforest. There's a series of mega dams that will be built along both the Tapajós and its tributaries that will flood a huge area of land called the Saiba, which is the traditional territory of the Munduruku indigenous people.
Então, esse é um projeto importante para nós da campanha da Amazônia porque ele ajuda a tirar da invisibilidade os povos indígenas da região, mas sobretudo a invisibilidade imposta pelos grandes projetos hidrelétricos aos povos da região. Então, a ideia desse filme é trazer a pessoa para dentro do território do povo Munduruku, para dentro da terra indígena Saiba, fazer com que ela compreenda a importância das relações contidas nesse território.
The reason we want to use virtual reality to tell the story of the Tapajós campaign is that it's very hard to explain what it's like to be a Munduruku person facing this threat, this huge threat to your way of life, to your very existence in this part of the Amazon rainforest where they've lived for thousands of years.
The story is really attempting to fully immerse the viewer in the daily lives and the culture and the beauty of the village that they live in.
Environmental storytelling, by definition, is multisensory. You know, I'm here in this forest and I can feel the pressure of the humidity of the air on my skin, I can feel the temperature. When I cross from the village, which is in a clearing, into the forest, I can feel that the temperature actually goes slightly lower and the humidity rises slightly. And that sends me all kinds of deep and complex messages about the complexity and the sophistication of the system, the ecosystem that I am in this forest.
That our mission was to capture the multisensory aspects of the jungle, of the VR movie that was going to be filmed. And I found it extremely exciting and quite pioneering as well, because it's the first time I hear of someone mapping sensorially a place for a movie at least.
Complex smell looks easy. You arrive into the manioc field and...
I'm here to smell. I'm here to put my nose everywhere. And the Munduruku people have been extremely kind with me. Always come with fruits, with bark, they chop trees for me, they cook for me, and they make me smell stuff and taste stuff. And
what we're interested in doing is seeking to evoke the emotional messages of a place through the sensory cues that we apply.
This is a kind of a gentle caressing breeze that's pleasant, and this signals some kind of warning. This is something coming. There's a storm coming.
We are building a number of pods in which people will sit to have the sensory experience. So you'll then be sat in the pod fitted with the VR headset, and you'll go through the experience, which will last about 10 minutes.
What's really different about this particular production is that we're bringing out a camera that's only just been released. It's one camera with 8 different lenses. And so what makes that really easy is that we can take it out into the location, we can turn it on, and we can just start recording without having to worry that one of the cameras is going to go down, and then we can take it back to the village and we can have a stitched preview of what we shot that day ready to view.
What's cool about this piece of kit here is that if you plug it into the computer, you can actually review what you've just been filming, so you can see the whole surroundings, feel like you're there, make sure that the shot works before you then go off and film something else.
It's really fun to be able to just take what we filmed of them that day, put it into a headset and be able to show these villagers exactly what they've been doing and it gives them a really good idea as to how they can then help us make a better film.
O meu tio Juarez, a Jamila.
So it's been a really interesting collaboration with the Munduruku people, not just us making a film based on what we want, it's been them driving the story as much as anyone else. We have some distinct scenes that we've been able to film and capture for this, but the development of the way that those scenes work, the way that people stand, the way that they move within them, the things that they do, this has been developed in collaboration with the Munduruku.
In some respects, it's probably the most natural way of filming, because the subject, people get used to that camera very, very easily, very quickly, and they ignore it. So you stand to get some pretty natural behaviour, which is great. We had a scene which required the camera floating up into the canopy of a really big kapok tree. And so we wanted to get the camera going up into the canopy to show the view. We're right next to the river, but with a 360-degree camera that can see everything, obviously you can't hold the camera. And so the supporting grip that we use, the cables, or everything has to be really minimal. So that was a real challenge, that was difficult, and I practiced for that in the UK in a much smaller tree, but I took the camera out for a day and did some tests up and down. But on a personal note, it's just great to have the opportunity to climb a tree like that and call it work, quite frankly. You know, I'm very, very lucky to do that.
It's the first time that a smell can actually help a cause. This is the first time that a smell could change people's behavior and could actually help people staying in their land and help people in Rio, in Sao Paulo, in London, in Paris, understanding how these people live.
This whole project is a bit of a risk for Greenpeace. It's an experimental, innovative project. We don't know if what we hope will actually happen at the end of it. But I feel like we have to try, we have to use these new techniques, we have to experiment with them.
When at the end of the film, the appeal is for people, for audience members to come out and to join the Munduruku in the fight and to understand that this is not the Munduruku's fight alone, because the Munduruku, in their very ancient, sustainable ways of life, are the guardians of this place.
So this is the final scene in the film. It's a really emotionally charged one. This is the moment that the cacique, Juarez, says goodbye to you, the visitor, the person watching the film.
A gente vai entregar uma carta para a pessoa que vai embora, levar a nossa mensagem para o resto do mundo.
Hopefully, you'll feel him transferring part of the responsibility to you as he pushes you off into the river.
Esse povo precisa desse território para manter viva a sua cultura, a sua língua e a sua história. Esse povo precisa desse território para garantir o seu direito de existir enquanto sociedade. E é essa a nossa luta ao lado dos Mundurukus. É essa a missão desse projeto. Levar ao resto da sociedade a mensagem de que os Munduruku têm sim o direito de existir no seu rio, conforme a sua cultura, conforme os seus costumes.